I realized I could make a difference. I could be their voice. I could fight for them. There's no better place to fight for working families than the governor's chair. I know what it feels like to be a victim of domestic violence. We need to quit arguing about whether the glass is half full or half empty, and instead acknowledge that there's not quite enough water to go around. We deploy a full arsenal of tools against voter fraud, including long prison terms, heavy fines, and deportation. We have checks and balances at all levels of the system. And we have the Department of Justice prosecutors backing us up. Oregonians continually demonstrate a strong belief in fairness and equal treatment under the law. Any threat to the health and safety of a child in any school or classroom is unacceptable. Before swearing in new citizens, immigration officials checked to make sure prospective citizens weren't on voter rolls or voted before achieving legal citizenship. A citizenship petition can be denied if they were. Public health and safety are my highest priorities. No individual, regardless of where they live or whom they love, should suffer discrimination. Anytime you do something in this arena, whether it's public records or ethics, it's not like throwing a stone in a quiet pond. It's like throwing a boulder. I pledge to you today that, for as long as I am your governor, I will not seek or accept any outside compensation from any source. I am very concerned that federal and state air quality programs do not consider public health in regulating certain classes of industrial air emissions. As Chief Elections Officer, it's my job to protect the integrity of the ballot. If I can save one kid's life, for me, it's absolutely worth it. It's really important that folks be able to speak out. I'm very committed to stable and adequate funding for education. High-quality public education combined with other appropriate support, as needed, is the best way to achieve the Oregon Business Plan's goal of reducing the number of people living in poverty. I love working the legislative process. The challenge is sort of capturing the issues that Oregonians feel strongly about and moving forward on those. I certainly think it's really important that folks in the metropolitan area be able to meet the increased cost of living. I know what it feels like to represent clients who can't get restraining orders on abusive partners. I grew up in a middle-class family. I went to law school. I know what it feels like to be paid less, substantially less, than the male lawyer in the office next to me. I seek solutions, not battles. I think the bottom line for Oregonians is that cleaner fuels mean cleaner air, and we need that, and we want that. The record shows that I've kept a very steady hand on the helm throughout some enormous challenges. John Kitzhaber was a visionary leader for Oregon. My highest priority is the safety of all Oregonians and their communities. I'm really pragmatic. That's my reality. Most of my time as a legislator, I served in the minority. so I'm used to getting the heel of a loaf of bread. The Department of Energy is a critical component of our efforts to curtail climate change. That work will be less effective unless we collaboratively rebuild confidence in the agency and its programs. My priorities are making sure we reduce class size and close the achievement gap. For me, clean fuels translates into cleaner air for Oregonians. I think that's a good thing. Oregonians have many good reasons to be proud of our election system. Every child has a right to learn in an environment that is safe. Oregonians expect the state to prioritize the health and well-being of them and their families. Economic growth is important, but we cannot count on economic growth alone to fund the public education system our children need and deserve. Imagine trying to learn without a dry place to sleep, eat, and do homework. Children cannot succeed in school if their lives out of school are in total chaos. Rent and the cost of essentials like food and child care are rising so fast that wages are not keeping up. We need more partnerships like Vigor Industrial and Portland Community College, where men and women in search of a career can get the training they need to get hired right out of school. We need a more strategic, coordinated, statewide plan that identifies high-demand jobs or industries with a projected undersupply and offer training to get these Oregonians to work. We want our students to graduate from high school, but we want them to graduate with a plan, whether it's college or career. As educators and policymakers, it is important to demonstrate for parents the connection between high levels of student participation in assessment and system accountability, ensuring the success of every student. Under HB 2655, the state is responsible to ensure parents are aware of the purpose and value of assessments and receive notice from their local school districts about their rights and obligations. Educators must engage with parents about the value of assessment and the potential consequences if parents opt out and student participation diminishes. It's absolutely critical that we not only provide support from cradle to career in the education system, but also the wraparound services. We are like petri dishes, where we can innovate, but we want to do it carefully and thoughtfully. My personal view is that I am opposed to the death penalty. Tackling affordable housing via land use planning won't necessarily solve the problem. Cities around the United States do not have land use planning like we have in Oregon, and they are all struggling with issues like affordable housing. I'm committed to the goal of Senate Bill 324, and that is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The chaos and confusion during the waning days of the Kitzhaber administration, as well as the ensuing federal investigations into allegations of misconduct, caused Oregonians to question their faith in their governor and state government. When I became governor, I vowed to restore the public's trust. Most public officials work hard to serve the public good and abide by Oregon's ethics laws. Water is the foundation for our economies, communities, ecosystems, and quality of life. State governments' efforts to address climate change must include reduced consumption and other conservation measures as water shortages become the new normal. I have spent my career fighting to make Oregon a place where everyone can thrive.